What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Oblivion Remastered. So today we're going to do a Barbarian build. First we're going to go over the gear, then we'll go over attributes, skills, things like that, and I'll show you how I built this character. Now, I went through the Fighters Guild with this character, and if you haven't done the Fighters Guild ever, I really recommend it. It is still my favorite. The quest line's just so fun. The little missions aren't annoying like some of the Mage Guild quests to me are, or the Grey Fox, Thieves Guild stuff. Some of those always get boring to me, but the Fighters Guild keeps me intrigued the entire time. So first we'll go over the gear. So for our weapons, right now I'm using the Skin Weaver. You get that fighting one of the bosses in the Fighters Guild quest line. It's drain fatigue on strike 10 points, fire damage on strike 10 points. As always, a little disclaimer, it'll probably be stronger or weaker depending on your level. I think I was like level 7 when I got this, so that's what it gave me for that. Also, as a backup, I have Rug Dump Sword. It's another Fighters Guild quest sword. It's obviously not as strong as the Skin Weaver, but it's good for fighting mages. Absorb Speechcraft on strike and Silence on strike for 5 seconds, so it'll shut up a mage pretty quick, so that's pretty good. For my bow, I use Bow of Scorching. It's just one I found off a fallen victim. 10 damage fire damage on strike, so it's really good. I'm using steel arrows until I get enough dwarven or silver here to officially switch over, and I'll sell all these. So yeah, the gear, I made it a point up until the very end. Up until the very end here, I switched helmets, but I have used fur armor the entire playthrough so far, and it's been really fun role playing this. It's been really cool wearing the fur armor. I've loved it. I like the little skull that they added for Remastered and stuff. It's just really cool. The helmet looks better than the original Oblivion. The helmet used to look really goofy, but now it actually looks legitimate. The one downside, other than it being extremely weak armor, the cuirass here is 3. The rest of them are all 1. I don't know why I still have a shield. I don't use it. I've been carrying that this whole time. I don't know why. I just now noticed that. But anyways, yeah, I've used the fur the whole time, but the downside to it is it breaks after like 2 hits. It has been rough, but it has boosted my armor skill insanely quick. Having to repair this after every single fight. So yeah, it's kind of a pro and a con, really, depending on how you want to look at it. The very last mission of the Fighters Guild gives you this helmet. Now, I'm kind of back and forth on it because it's heavy armor. It's the only piece that's not light. But, jeez. Here we go. Fortify Agility on self 10 points and Fortify Endurance on self 10 points. That is insanely good for this character. So it's worth it to swap out one piece of light armor for heavy armor. For that, it is very worth it, because this character uses a lot of agility based abilities and endurance. That's just gonna boost your life, so that's just good for anybody. And if you look at it, I mean, come on, if that's not Barbarian-esque, I don't know what is. That is just really cool helmet. So even though it's heavy armor and we specialize in light armor, I'm not upset with it. I'm using that sucker. That is pretty cool. Anyways, I've got the Mind and Body Ring. Reflect damage on self 4%. Fortify Strength on self 4 points. And the Ring of Aegis. Shield on self 15%. So that's all the gear. Now I want to point something out here. We've got shield on self 15%. And for our character, we went with the Birthsign, the Lord, which gives you shield 15 and resist magic 15. I did that to make this character more tanky because they're going to be using light armor. And I thought if we're going to be up close most of the time, and we're using light armor, we're going to need some shields. So I went with the Lord's sign here. So for that bonus 15 armor rating plus the 15% magic, and this ring will give us an additional 15 on that. So that's a permanent 30% on you at all times. And then reflect damage on self 4%. So that's 34% damage you're shielded against there. I will eventually enchant all of this fur armor, but for now, that's what we're working with. I also have the only ability that I use magic-wise is Dragon Skin. I'm not sure how I got it, if it's a Breton ability or what, but shield 50% on self, 60 seconds. So for 60 seconds, I am almost invincible. If you stack all these shields together, that's like a good 84%, if I'm doing my math right. But yeah, that's all. That's the only magic type thing I do. So back to this section over here, I did go with Breton, which is kind of weird for a barbarian. I know you would think Nord would be the way to go, and that's what I would have chosen, except for all the Nord women are very ugly, and I know how that sounds, but the noses are weird on every single one of the Nords, the females. It's just, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be like hideous, so I had to go with the Breton. They look much better. So that's the only reason. But they did have some ability that I liked. Let's see. Yeah, resistance to magical energies. So that kind of stacks with the Lord ability of resisting. Here, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. Wow. Lord Birthsign 15% and then Breton magic resistance 50. So that's a good 65% magic resistance, which is really helpful for a barbarian who's not using magic. You know, you don't want to just get blasted away with some random wizard with fireball. Not now. Strength, with all the boosts, is 84. So strength and endurance have been the primary two that I bring up most of the time. Like every 3 levels I would bring up agility instead of one or the other. And I've brought up speed consistently by 2 every time I leveled up. So speed's has been the most consistent one by far, but only by 2 each level. So strength, endurance, agility, then speed. That's kind of the order it's been going in. Now for the major skills, we have armor now up to 50. Like I said, this one has been vital. I mean, I've repaired so much, it's kind of insane. My armor breaks after every fight. But I've just now got to 50, which makes my repair hammers last twice as long, which is really good. Athletics, you don't have to get that. You could easily pick something else like security. I would probably get security instead of this if I was doing it over. Blade, I knew with this character I wanted to use claymore type weapons, so I didn't even bother getting blunt. So, but you could easily, for a barbarian character, use blunt instead, like an axe or something. But with this character, I went with blade. Block, light armor. I felt like that was kind of essential for a barbarian. The fur armor deal. I just now got it. No, it's 45. So I've had apprentice. Light armor degrades at a normal rate, which is not good. Trust me. Journeyman, I can't wait to get to that, which is 50. Only 5 points away. Light armor you wear degrades much more slowly. I'm really looking forward to that, because just to see if it makes a difference with this fur armor. Marksman, I use that quite often actually. I'm kind of surprised it's only at 31. But yeah, we do a lot of shooting until the enemies get up close. Then we beat them down with our sword. And then sneak 38. This, in a way, is a mix between a rogue and fighter type. But still mostly fighter type, as you can see here. I think 4 strength based, ability seer, and 3 agility based. Next up, is acrobatics, security, mercantile. We dealt a lot with that, but yeah, like I said, you could swap out blade for blunt or athletics for security, and it would still be just as easy to roleplay. Did the Fighters Guild, and that's pretty much the gist of this character. It has been a blast. So far, this has been the most fun I've had with the character in a while. I really love doing the Barbarian build, and I will probably keep on playing this character for a while. I've enjoyed it a lot. And you get rich doing the Fighters Guild. I have blown money like crazy on repair hammers and lockpicks, and I'm at 13,000, almost 14,000, just easily. That's not even going out of my way to get money on anything. It's just what I have. I didn't have anything close to that with my mage character doing the Mage's Guild, if I remember correctly. But yeah, guys, try out the Barbarian build. It is super fun. It's kind of like the best of both worlds with the archery and the high DPS, and that very tanky, surprisingly, despite the light armor, with the Breton and the Lord sign and just the magical properties we have on us from our gear. This is a very tanky build. I was actually surprised at that, how well that worked out. But yeah, guys, give it a try. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you on the next one. And give me a follow if you like these. I've been making quite a few again, and I really enjoy it.